Hey everyone, welcome to Camping with Steve. It seems as if overnight, the dog days of autumn have slipped through our fingers and we're now in the final throes of summer. The luscious trees behind me belie the fact that in a few weeks, they'll fall dormant in anticipation of the long winter ahead of us. So, in a final poignant tribute to our waning summer, I am going to sneak into the woods behind this police station and go camping for the night. So when we bought the school bus, I saw this patch of woods, and as soon as I saw it by the police station, I knew I wouldn't be able to contain myself any longer. We're just gonna walk down here a little bit because, well, there's a police officer driving right towards us right now. Could be a short journey. I don't know if he was looking at me or not, but this is actually right where I want to turn into the woods. So I'm just going to pretend I'm out innocently walking around with a humongous backpack on in a small town. Okay, so I just ducked off of the trail here a little bit. There's a lot of police driving by. I think there's another one coming right now. I'll just act like I'm filming the flowers here, which are majestic, I will have to admit. But these, I think, are geraniums or posies or pansies or something like that. And that's all we have to say about that. Okay, they've moved along, I do believe. Anyhow, this town is in the Goldilocks zone of stealth camping. It is so small that they don't really have a huge homeless problem and haven't gotten rid of all the good spots. But it's also big enough that it's got some amenities. So that police officer did pull into the lot right up ahead, and I think there's no better time than just about any time now to get into these woods here and continue this adventure in private. So just a couple of civilians driving past, nothing to be concerned about. I think time to go is right now. Okay. Now we should be out of the view of the road, and we just gotta sit here for a bit and wait for things to die down. Okay, that one that drove by was an unmarked police car, and I got the feeling I may have got myself in for more than I bargained for. I can see the back of the police station right there. I'm just going to find a spot a little further away and see if I can find a spot for a hammock. There's a good spot here between these two trees for the hammock, but it's also right there by the police station. And I think it's shift change or something. They were outside walking around outside of their cars. So I'm gonna wander way further away from the police station and just relax for a bit. I've moved back through the woods a bit, but he's still sitting in his car out there. Probably can't see that, but step one is sit here and wait. Step two, if I can stealth this properly here, just gotta muffle the sound with my hand over the can or something. Okay, that's about as good as it gets. Right on, I'll just sit and bide my time until that cruiser pulls away. Then I should be good to set up what I've got here for the night. Oh, by the way. Cheers. Right back there. I can hear the police talking. Oh, they seem happy. That unmarked cruiser drove past again and pulled into the police station parking lot. I'm beginning to feel like I'm in a little bit over my head here, and I'm gonna have to move this little dead tree here to set up the hammock unless I find somewhere better. But I'm so close. I can see the glistening of the decals on the police cars. So I'm gonna stash some gear and wander away for a little bit here and come back when everything's blown over. I think everything's gonna be all right, guys. Good. Gonna leave everything behind here I can, covered under this. A little bit of camo. Got a couple of sleeping bags because I don't know how cold it's gonna get tonight. Leave the beer behind as well. Of course, these are raspberries and wild roses, so everything's got thorns on them. Looks good to me. I'll take my cameras and we're gonna get out of here. All right, extremely reduced backpack. Doesn't look too suspicious. Stuff has been stored there for right now. And I don't want to go right out onto the road quite yet. So I'm gonna go further this way and explore our neighborhood for the night. While I'm walking through woods like these, a lot of people get concerned, and I'd say rightfully so based on how it looks. Folks are concerned about me coming in contact with poison ivy, poison oak, and I happened to download a beautiful little app. It's just one of my finds. They're not sponsoring me, but I can identify an offending little guy like this, and that looks like it could be definitely a cause for concern. And with just a quick click, it'll tell me red raspberry. I'm hungry already. So I found box elders out here. Nothing really toxic other than some bizarre little berries and stuff like that that you wouldn't want to eat anyways. But ticks are another story. They do exist here, but I haven't had an issue with them, usually because I'm wearing jeans and not shorts, and I try not to do too much bushwhacking, so I haven't had an issue, but they are possible out here. And oh boy, of course I knew there was a golf course close, but like I can still see the shine off of those police cruisers. What do we have here? Great. So the golf course, that's a project for future Steve. Now that I've seen it, I knew it was around. I didn't know it was that close based on Google Maps. Yeah, that's a can of worms I'm gonna have to open. Okay. I'm just gonna kill some time until the sun dips below the side of that police station, and we'll explore this little gem of a town, shall we? Just walking into the main part of the town of Redwater. It features about 2,000 people. A lot of it seems to close by 9 p.m., but that's okay. We got a lot of time. There's a burger place that's open, and we're going to take full advantage of that, see what's on the menu. Spattering of motels, etc., with good rates and reasonable fees, and your normal bungalows, etc., that you'd find in a small town. Beautiful, quaint, and beautiful. Well, there is a campground here. And from what I see, there's no washrooms. So that is a problem for anybody without a nice camper. This is the place, the Burger Baron. Authentic Texas fried chicken, pizza, and I'm assuming burgers. Good. Could I place an order for takeout?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Awesome, thanks. Could I get a small poutine and could I get a jumbo donair?
Yeah. Beef, right?
Yeah, jumbo donair with beef.
With cheese?
Yeah, beef, cheese, and just tomato and onion. Success. We've got some food. I'm gonna just sit down at the campground over here and chow down on a little bit of it. So a little weird eating before I've even set up the camp, but I've ordered two things. One is a jumbo beef donair. My Canadian friends will know all about that. Halifax donair, similar to a gyro in some ways, but it's spiced beef and not lamb. And there's a sweet sauce instead of tzatziki. And I don't know how horribly they butchered this, but a poutine or poutine, depending on where you're from in Canada. It's supposed to be not that, but this still looks pretty good. Gravy, it should be cheese curds. This is shredded mozza, and fries. And similar to disco fries or dirty fries or whatever maybe in other places. But not too shabby. I can get behind this. Good and filling. And I gotta eat a little bit of this. Wait for things to die down, then we'll go set up the hammock and go from there. It still tastes good even though it's not authentic. Now that was good and sufficient for now. I'll break out this donair a little bit later, but chuck this in the garbage. And we'll find our way back to home for the night. Okay, looks clear. In we go. The police station is right behind me. One of them just pulled into the parking lot. But this should be good. I'm just gonna stay really still and then I'll throw my camo on in a bit and head over towards the fence and see how obvious this might be. But for right now, yeah, another one just drove by there. I'm gonna stay perfectly still. Perfectly still. I'm gonna find the quietest way through these trails over to the fence at the police station. There. See just what it looks like. The key is to go very slow and be very careful where I'm stepping. Oh, great. Regular bull in a china shop over here. Oh, that's a little smoother. That's a little smoother. There is one car there with its lights on, so it's got to be running. All right, from here, can't see nothing. Perfect. Just what I wanted. Now, I'm not going to push my luck anymore. I'll get back there. Now from the other side where I walked in, I'm going to see from the trail what it looks like. Just waiting for the coast to be clear here. good. Let's check this out. Now, on this little trail right here, if I were a wholesome family out for a stroll, what would I see if I looked in the woods? Not a ton, but there is certainly something there. So I'll rely on the fact that most people aren't looking into the woods for stealth campers. But even from here, it doesn't look that bad. An old piece of garbage that has to come with us. A very wise man once told me that having one beer is like shaving half your face. So, when this car drives by, crack another one, and we'll fix that problem right away. While I'm sitting here drinking beer delinquently in the woods behind the police station, I will give a shout out, of course, to all the folks that are helping to fuel this midlife crisis with your beer donations. Thank you all so very, very much. I've got half the batch on this video and then half coming on the next one in a couple of days here. And that will get us all caught up. Thank you all so much. Happy birthday to all those who are having birthdays. And cheers to everybody else. Thanks for everybody that's leaving kind messages and such. You're all class acts. Better not arouse too much more suspicion here with thanking people for donating beer, as I'm secretly drinking it behind a police station. So, gonna dig into that donair before it gets too dark to see what's going on. I don't know what that sound is. Yes. Just like any health problem, ignore it and it'll go away. Okay. I do have a nice little flashlight as well that I'm going to try out tonight too. Little head strappy thing from the same wise man who gave me the beer advice. That noise we heard was coming off of your normal, benign, everyday dog walkers. So, I'll have a few bites of this. This is an East Coast favorite, which has found its way into Alberta. And of course, nobody can make them right out here. But we'll see what happens here. The sweet sauce is like a condensed milk, vinegar, sugar, a little bit of garlic. Well, I'm not sure, but essentially, they look like this little guy here. And looks the part. Wrapped in a pita. Let's see. This is a super. They come in sizes like a regular donair, a super donair, jumbo donair. Some of them are the size of a football. There's one place in town that makes this one the size of a baby. Now, I'm sure they're not good for you whatsoever, but well, those coyotes are sure yipping up. But this one's a good flavor. Not heavy in the poundage, but that's okay. It's the diet donair. Now, this feisty little guy is the new weapon to the stealth arsenal. Right on like so. We've got, shield this a little bit. We got the red light that everybody's been asking for. And that can adjust down, and so I can maybe see what I'm doing. But we got a bright light, a less bright one, and then the red. Now, I got so many requests about the red light, and I'll explain what the problem is that I'm colorblind. So one of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to poke my eye out trying to see where I'm going, because I cannot see in red light. I can't see a laser pointer if it's pointing at something, like I'm done for. Or the other thing is, it'll have to be so bright, it's going to look like there's a flare going off in the woods somewhere, and I'm just going to give myself away not being able to see what's going on. But I'm going to give it a try tonight and just see if my eyes adjust, if I can actually see with the red light. And that'll be great. And if that police car can stop idling right there, it's really going to make me feel a lot more at ease. I know what type of a low we're expecting tonight, and it shouldn't be too bad. 10 or 12 Celsius. So we're looking at 40 some odd Fahrenheit, 45 maybe. Shouldn't be the end of the world. But I did bring 2 sleeping bags just in case things feel colder than the weather forecast says they should be. Yeah, there's this thrown in here now. This hammock that I use on most of my stealth adventures is the Hennessy asymmetrical zip model, and it's got a zipper on one side of it, and I always make sure that's facing the path of least resistance on the way out. That side is just a bunch of thick woods with a police station on the other side, and this side is the trail I came in on with the main road out there. So if there is an issue and I need to leave quickly, I just casually unzip the hammock and then stumble frantically through the forest in the dark. Couldn't be easier. Well, today is the day to test out these red lights, and I need to be careful with them because if I go one notch further, it goes into flashing red lights. And we certainly don't need that. I'm going to try and wander up here and see if I can make my way using nothing but this red light, which I'm optimistic about. Not excessively bright. I wouldn't want to blaze new trail with this at night, so I'm just sticking on a trail I know, the one I came in on, and through the viewfinder on the camera it looks okay, but to be honest, it's almost as easy for me to walk through with the moonlight or starlight or the gas station light or the street lights. So this I'm going to turn off right now. It's a decent experiment. I guess it's got some potential. Well, now's that time of the night where I try not to push my luck too much. So I'm going to crawl into this and zip myself into here, because there's still that police car idling out there. So until the morning, I have the right to remain stealthy. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the morning. Okay, if I don't flip out over my hammock here. Night, everyone. Well, that was a questionable sleep. Every little noise set me off. I didn't really fall asleep until the sun was just about up. But the irrigation next door at the golf course sounded surprisingly close. I'm surprised I didn't get wet. And it wasn't like just a sprinkler noise. It sounded like there was a water truck just let loose out there. Police station, the door was opening and closing. People are coming and going at shift change and everything last night. And of course a bunch of yahoos screaming up and down Main Road here in their cars, stunting and showing off. I guess it was Saturday night. What better things are there to do? So I don't fault them for that, but it did make for a tricky sleep. So I had to pack up and just wander around here real quick. Make sure I picked up all the garbage, make sure I picked up other people's garbage, and there's actually a little garbage can out on the trail there, so I can throw out all the garbage, including the additional stuff I found, coffee cups, and yeah, then we'll go from there. But I will say thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing if you like these types of adventures. I got like a list of about probably 10 on the board right now that I just have to hammer out the details, because with stealth camping you can't just kind of show up and camp. You got to plan it out a little bit as far as what your meal is, check out Google Maps, make sure you have somebody around with bail money and a vehicle who is sober, who can help you out if you're in a pinch. So yeah, I'll pack this up and let's get the day started. Now that's the way to do it, everyone. More pristine than when you show up. So I don't see anything else here that I need to worry about. Nice and clean. It was a good spot. It's really not trashed at all from what I would expect in a bigger place. So that's really refreshing. That's really, really good stuff. It is not quite that time of year where the leaves change color, but there's a few out there already going yellow on us, and there will be more here within the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I have to get this in as much of the stealth stuff while I can, because as soon as these leaves are off the trees, it makes things real difficult. Matter of fact, that abandoned campground I tried to do, the very first 2 times I went out, there wasn't enough cover on the trees for me to be able to camp. But as you saw when I did do it, there's no problem at all. I could get quite close to the families and dogs without them knowing I was there. Okay, so a lot of woods. I think there's the garbage can there. I'm gonna throw this out, and I'm gonna walk down a little bit further to see where that fairway is, because there is an awful lot more to explore here. There is good potential for me. Oh yes. Okay, this has to be done at some point in the future. It is the perfect looking golf course for this. There's no fence. I think it's like a city-owned thing. I can weasel in. There's so many spots all throughout this golf course. And that explains what all the golf ball sounds were this morning. Well, obviously. I just didn't know it was quite this close to where I'd camped. So, good. Got another project. You got to stay tuned for this golf course, because I've had people asking for it for quite a while. And I just happened to found the perfect golf course. This town is the Stealth Camper's Garden of Eden. I can't believe it, actually. Like, even across there, you got all that land. The park, it's just incredible. So Redwater gets 5 stealth stars up in my book. And I better get the day going. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay tuned for future updates and future videos. We've got working on the boat trip, gonna see what we can do. It's gonna be a little bit shorter because the water level is way down, and we still don't have the boat fully finished yet for what we want to do. So thanks for following along. There's going to be a little more stealth and one project build within the next, I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then we'll have some type of a river adventure, whatever that may be. So cheers, everybody. You have been camping with Steve.